Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. I think there are many fishes, as this quote of Albert Einstein says, that have been made believe that they are stupid through our educational system or bad teachers. And since our educational system relies very heavily on two types of intelligences and disregards many others, I thought about making this video. Just listen to this theory of multiple intelligences and think which of these strengths relate to you, which of these things come easily to you. This could be your intelligence type. The theory of multiple intelligences was proposed in 1980s by Howard Gardner, a professor at Harvard Graduate School of Education. And since its proposal, it also got some criticism, especially from mainstream psychology, because there was lack of empirical evidence. However, since we have neuroscience, we actually can now scan the brains and see if there are some proofs for these intelligences. And indeed, there are. And I learned about it from this book that I'm reading lately. It's called Wired to Grow by Britt Andreatta, PhD. I can really recommend it. So buckle up and let's get started. I'm gonna list them all and then tell more about them. We have linguistic verbal, logical mathematical, musical, bodily kinesthetic, spatial, intrapersonal, interpersonal, naturalistic, and existential. The latest one has been added a bit later. And what do they entail? The linguistic intelligence relates to the sensitivity to the spoken and written language. It entails ability to learn languages and the capacity to use them to accomplish certain goals, for example, to write books, poems, or speeches, or even articles. The logical mathematical intelligence is all about numbers and reasoning. It's about capacity to analyze problems logically, carry out mathematical operations, and investigate issues scientifically. So people with this type of intelligence, they can develop equations and proofs, they can make calculations and include people like mathematicians, statisticians, sometimes even computer analysts and accountants. Musical intelligence refers to the skill in performance, composition and appreciation of musical patterns. People with musical intelligence, such as Beethoven, they can recognize and create musical pitches, rhythms and tones. And as you can imagine, being a musician or singer or composer or a DJ involves this type of intelligence. Bodily kinesthetic type of intelligence contains ability to control one's body's movements and to handle objects skillfully. It's the type of intelligence possessed, for example, by athletes and dancers. But it's also useful for surgeons or physical therapists. Spatial intelligence is being picture smart. It features the potential to recognize and manipulate the patterns in space. This is the skill used by architects to design houses or project houses. It's also used by chess players to navigate the space, or by pilots or navigators when the space is not contained like a chessboard, but wide open. Intrapersonal intelligence is about having access to your own feelings and the ability to distinguish them and draw conclusions from them to guide your behavior. It's also knowledge of your own strengths, your weaknesses, your desires, and other intelligences. So this is very much about self-awareness as well. People with strong intrapersonal intelligence, they also can decide which goals are important for them to pursue. And very often they end up with professions like entrepreneur or psychologist. Related one is the interpersonal intelligence, and this is similar to intrapersonal one, but it's about other people. It's distinguishing and appropriately responding to the moods and motivations and desires of other people. This is the intelligence that is very often used by therapists as well, psychologists or salesmen. Then there is naturalist intelligence. It's about ability to identify and distinguish among different types of animals, plants, or even weather formations that are found in the natural world. People with this type of intelligence end up being botanists, biologists, astronomers, geologists, Finally, there is an existential or spiritual intelligence, which Gardner added as a candidate for the ninth type in 1999. This addition hasn't been formally included, but it's about the capacity to tackle deep questions about life and human existence, like the meaning of life and death, and it's crucial to become a philosopher. So this was Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences. I'm going to link the source if you want to see the confirmation from neuroscience that it actually was proven. And yeah, with which intelligences do you identify? I'm very, very curious. I can tell you for myself that it's the linguistic one. I love learning languages and I love using them. I love all kinds of crosswords and brain teasers that involve language. I also like the mathematical and logical one. And spatial for my dancing, and also for Go, which is the board game that I'm playing. So these are my three core intelligences, I guess. Maybe spatial relates to musical as well because of dancing. So maybe there are four. But see, there are no limits, and you can develop these intelligences through activities that stimulate our brain and not feel like a bad fish that cannot climb a tree. We don't all need to be tree climbers. Everybody is a fish, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid.